let's jump right into it. Welcome back to The Explainer. If you're the kind of person who loves to really geek out and break down the complex, the strange, or just the downright fascinating, you're in the exact right place. Because today, we're looking at something that kind of challenges everything we think we know about our modern world. Think about it. We live in an era of unbelievable tech, right? We've got global satellite tracking, crazy advanced forensics, instant communication. And yet, despite having all these tools at our fingertips, we're going to look at several chilling events and phenomena that remain completely 100% unsolved, no answers. So let's look at the evidence.
Okay, let's dive into this. Hundreds of serial killers have never been found. I mean, wow. It's a terrifying statistic straight from our source material today, and it really sets the stage perfectly for this explainer. You know, we usually think of mysteries as these super rare, isolated events. But a number like this, it tells us the unknown is actually hiding right in plain sight. It's happening hundreds of times over, quite literally right under our noses.
To help us make sense of all this, we're dividing these anomalies into four main areas. First up, the perfect crimes. Second, sounds and symbols. Third, swallowed by the sea. And finally, the enduring unknown. All right, starting off with Section 1, the perfect crimes, human-driven mysteries. So when we look at these notorious crimes, there's this really chilling pattern of just perfect evasion. And it spans completely different eras and continents. Back in the 1800s, Jack the Ripper absolutely terrorizes London and then just vanishes. Flash forward to the 1970s, the Zodiac Killer strikes in California and basically slips right into history. Then, in 1990, you have the infamous Isabella Stewart Gardner Museum heist, which goes completely unsolved. We're talking decades, even centuries apart. Yet all these perpetrators share the exact same ghost-like status. It's like they just evaporated.
And this isn't just dusty history. It extends to incredibly high-profile modern cases too. The killing of Nicole Brown and Ron Goldman is this stark reminder that sheer public attention, total media frenzy, doesn't actually guarantee a solved case. When it comes to the ultimately responsible party, it remains a definitive mystery in the eyes of history.
And speaking of scale for a second, $500 million. That was the value of the art stolen during that 1990 Gardner Museum heist we just mentioned. To put that into perspective, this massive fortune was taken by just two men, and to this day it has never been recovered. Talk about the perfect human-driven crime, right? Just completely gone.
Moving on to Section 2, sounds and symbols, bizarre, scientific, and historical anomalies.
Now, what's really interesting about this is the brilliant contrast between these two auditory mysteries. On one side, we have the bloop. This was a single, isolated, ultra-low frequency underwater sound recorded back in 1997. Never heard again. People suspected it was some unknown marine animal, but that was never confirmed. Now contrast that with the hum. This is a continuous, low-frequency noise being heard globally by a lot of people right now. And there is absolutely no scientific explanation for it. So you've got this isolated roar versus a continuous global whisper. And both completely unexplained. But hey, these mysteries aren't just things we hear, they're visual and historical too. Take the number 240. That's the page count of the famous Voynich manuscript. We aren't just talking about a brief, cryptic note hastily scribbled on a scrap of paper. No, this is a massive, meticulously crafted book. The sheer scale and the level of effort behind this historical text is honestly just mind-boggling.
The thing is, the Voynich manuscript is written in a language that researchers still haven't been able to decipher. It is, quite literally, one of the few pieces of text on Earth that nobody can understand. Think about that. We live in this hyper-connected world where we translate dozens of languages in real time right on our phones, right? Yet this manuscript remains an absolute impenetrable mystery that baffles literally every single researcher who looks at it.
Which brings us to Section 3, swallowed by the sea, the most unforgiving environment.
Let's move to this and see how this builds a truly global picture of marine anomalies. We've got aircraft vanishings over the infamous Bermuda Triangle region. Then there's the incredibly tragic and perplexing disappearance of Malaysian Airlines Flight 370 out in the vast expanse of the Indian Ocean. And, of course, the OceanGate Titan near the Titanic wreck site. Over and over again, the ocean has just swallowed these massive, globally recognized mysteries.
Because the ocean isn't just some repository for things that happened in the distant past, we are still forced to ask what exactly happened inside the OceanGate Titan. Happening just recently in 2023, it's this incredibly stark reminder that all of our modern engineering is still really no match for the ocean's ability to obscure the truth. The sea is still actively claiming secrets today, right now.
And finally, Section 4, the enduring unknown, the limits of our knowledge.
So the crucial point here is really taking a step back and looking at the big picture. Serial killers spanning centuries remain unfound. $500 art heists go unrecovered. Global noises and dense 240-page text completely lack scientific explanation. Massive vehicles just vanish into the ocean without a definitive trace. This diverse list of facts proves one incredibly humbling reality. Despite absolutely all of our technological and scientific advancements, the universe still effortlessly keeps its secrets.
Which leaves us with this final, lingering thought. Will we ever uncover the truth behind these mysteries, or are some secrets meant to stay hidden? As you go about your day, surrounded by all the quick answers our modern world provides, I really want you to remember just how much of the map is still drawn in the dark. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer. Keep questioning, keep learning, and I'll catch you next time.